Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Convocation Center, home of your California Vulcans women's basketball. I'm Addie Mann, joined alongside the voice of Vulcan Sports, Mr. Jonathan Sape. Sape, how are we feeling here?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. We just had a nice little quick trip to Sheets before the game today, so I'm feeling good, and I'm ready for some basketball here today.
We're going to take a look at some previous matchups. Cal recently faced off against the Fighting Scots of Edinburgh. If you follow along, we were there for that game. Fortunately, a tough battle lost in favor. The Scots won that 83-77, and then another PSAC West battle going on, whereas the Rock from Slippery Rock squared off against the Seton Hill Griffins, and that was another close battle there. Ultimately, the Griffins took down the Rock 63-61.
Yeah, both games pretty closely contested and a pretty tough one. And that last game out against Edinburgh, Alicia Harris had 23 points, 15 rebounds, played 38 minutes in that game, which is all career highs for her here at Cal. And as well in that game, Hallie Harrington had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 4 for 9 for 3 as well, so a big factor on the offensive end, which kind of kept the Vulcans in the game after they lost Raja Fink in that first half, picked up 2 technical fouls in that first half, was ejected not only from the game, or for the rest of that game, and then for this one as well, as you can take a look at the screen at the starting lineups, isn't starting today because she will be out for the first half, will be eligible for the second half of play, but won't be in there for the first half today against the Slippery Rock.
As we take a look at some starting lineups from both teams, for the Rock, we will have Kaylin Vienek, number 2, and then number 12, Kennedy Middleton, her sister, number 14, Isabel Middleton, and then number 20, Delaylee Gibson, and then 24, Jordan Kaufman. And then for your California Vulcans, as Sape alluded to, we do have Fink missing the first half of this game due to double technical foul versus the Fighting Scots. So it will be a slightly different lineup than we are used to. We still have the 4 original, Sierra Lloyd, Alicia, and then the new joiner would be number 3, Alicia Young, coming in place for Raja Fink. And then number 5, Hallie Harrington, number 22, Jordan Smith, and then finally number 23, Alicia Harris.
And so one different look from the Vulcans in this game, and I mean it's coming out of necessity. I do have some more notes about that game. The Vulcans in that game against Edinburgh, they kind of let their tempers get the best of them, especially in the terms of the fouling department. There were way more fouls that the Vulcans gave up compared to the Fighting Scots. In that game, California shot 21 free throws in total. That seems like a pretty good number, right? Edinburgh made 26. They didn't even just shoot 26. They made 26. They made more free throws than the Vulcans shot the whole game. So if the Vulcans want to be able to win this game, they need to stay out of foul trouble.
Definitely a lot of mental errors we saw on the road against the Scots. California definitely plays better here in the Convocation Center. There's less distractions, there's less variability going on. So it will be another important matchup in terms of PSAC West standings. Losing to the Edinburgh Fighting Scots dropped California out of the 2 spot, and they're currently now 4th in the PSAC West. The Rock from Slippery Rock are sitting at the 8th overall spot, only ahead of Clarion. These two teams did match up against each other earlier in the season, and ultimately that was won in favor of the Vulcans.
Yeah, California won that game 63-52. Just shy of a month ago from the day on January 7th. In that game, Lloyd had 16 points and 8 assists, and Fink had 15 points and 14 rebounds for the Vulcans.
And we are underway here. Middleton will win that opening tip-off for the Rock, and now back onto the Rock side of the court, trying to create some space, pull up for the mid-range jumper, and Gibson gets it to go.
Yeah, good start from the Rock, and it's going to be Gibson. She's a very important piece of this offense. And just got a nice mid-range jumper there, not contested enough by the Vulcans, and she was able to knock it down.
Smith bounce passes it in the corner, trying to find some space now in the paint, and Vulcans will match it, and that'll be Alicia Young to start off the scoreboard for California.
And Young has come into her own the last couple of games. When she comes off that bench, historically for this Vulcan team, and she's able to get some minutes, she's able to get some nice points on the board that time. She's able to do so once again.
And now we're back onto the Rock side of the court, debating the 3-ball. They go for it. Off the money, are able to come down with the board here. Gibson now weighs out her options. Poor pass there, too strong in the hands for Middleton, so it will be California ball.
And those are the 2 players that the California are going to have to worry about, the Middleton sisters, Kennedy and Isabella, both coming out of Leesburg, Virginia. These two players are the leading scorers and lead in pretty much every single category for the Rock. So the Vulcans are going to have to lock them down today.
Lloyd now has at the top of the key a pass intended for Harrington that will go out of bounds, still be California possession.
And that's one of the strong suits of this Rock team. They're third in the entirety of the PSAC in steals per game. They average a little shy than 10, 9.6 per game. So California have to hold on to the ball well.
Lloyd has it, tries to find Harris in the paint, and gets 2 more. Middleton going to lead the charge back the other way with some awesome shoes, I might add. Dumps pass off to Vinick. Vinick now trying to find a lane, kicks it out to Middleton once again. They're going to call a travel there.
Just good closing out and good defense by the Vulcans that time, staying in front of their defenders, and that time Kennedy Middleton. It's going to be a hard day trying to differentiate the two. Just got caught with it.
There will important note on the Slippery Rock side. There are 2 sets of sisters on that bench, so bear with us here as Harrington has it in the corner. Harrington wants the 3 ball. She tries to go for it. Too weak there, and that's going to be boarded by the other Middleton, who's going to lead the charge back the other way. And they're going to call a double dribble there.
Yeah, it's another turnover from the Rock, so they've had their chances to get back in this game and should try to take a commanding effort, but just cannot seem to hold on to the ball particularly well. So it's going to be on California to capitalize on these opportunities that the Rock are handing to them.
Lloyd now has it by the Vulcan logo. She wants to do it all herself. Stalls out, goes up for the jumper. Nothing but net for Sierra Lloyd.
Beautiful spin move that time, and it's going to be very important that the Vulcans were able to keep their head above water in this first half. We know how important Fink is to that offense, and if they're able to take a lead into halftime and bring Fink in, it's going to be a very good game here for Cal.
Vinick has it in the corner. Harrington on the defensive, and Harrington gets a hand on it, goes back in the hands of Vinick, gets the shot off, and that won't go, but she does get the board, steals it out of the hands of Young. Now for a 3 ball once again off the iron, and that's going to be Lloyd to come down with it. Lloyd kicks it out to Harrington. Harrington goes for 3. That's going to be off the mark. Right into the hands of Kaufman. Now dumps it off to Middleton. Middleton finds the man in the paint. 2 more for the other Middleton. So Middleton to Middleton gets the action there.
Yeah, it was Isabella Middleton with the finish, but a great pass by Kennedy Middleton to start it all up. In that fast break opportunity, Isabella Middleton, number 14, just making that cut towards the basket, and Kennedy Middleton able to find her.
Lloyd now has it in the corner, finds Harris in the paint, no foul called, gets the shot off too strong, boarded by the Rock. Kennedy Middleton leading the charge, dumps it off in the corner for 3 once again, nothing but net.
And Kennedy Middleton is leading this team in assists, has 74 assists, now 76 on the season after those last 2. So she's able to do a good job at distributing the ball to the other players on the Rock team, and California need to be able to close out better to prevent these shots from going in.
Lucky break there as Harrington's pass goes a little wayward. Now in the corner finds Harrington again, trying to find a lane. Foul called on that one. Go in favor of California. Foul will be on number Dalia Gibson for the Rock.
And that'll bail the Vulcans out a little bit. It'll give them 20 seconds on the shot clock compared to the 9 that they had beforehand, so they'll be able to get the ball out and get a fresh possession here.
Now wide open for 3. That's Smith. Smith off the mark. Get the board. That's going to be Young with the board, but a foul called on her.
Yeah, they're going to call an over the back on her. It looked like she kind of got a little pushy, just trying to go up there and fight for that space underneath the basket. It's not something that the Vulcans want to see. They need to make sure that they don't get into foul trouble early. Like I said, they're already 1 person less on the team in this first half without Fink, so they can't get into foul trouble early.
Gibson now has it, dumps it off to Middleton. Middleton, the other Middleton, I should add, top of the key. Now Vinick in the corner, dumps it off for 3 ball. On the money, Dylan Gibson once again. Now 10-6 in favor of the Rock.
And Gibson not a great 3-point shooter on this season, only shooting about 28%. But, I mean, if you're going to give her open looks like that, even though they're pretty deep, she's already made 1, so she's going to take more.
Now Lloyd tries to create some space. Jumper off the mark, board by Harris. Harris puts one up. That one's going to be no good again. No foul called there as Jordan Smith got a hand on it. Now going back the other way is Isabella Middleton, trying to find a lane. Off the mark there, Harrington to come down with it. Harrington leading the charge back the other way. No stranger to conducting that offense, but she's going to dump it off to Sierra Lloyd. in a bit of a hole here early, 6-10, with the Rock leading this one. Lloyd tries to do it herself, puts it up, and gets it in.
And without Fink, it's going to be on Lloyd to create the offense, not only with her passing, but with her scoring. That time, just had a lane straight to the basket, able to just take that drive with a full head of steam. And a nice finish as well at the end.
Middleton has it on the paint, trying to go find a lane in it. That's going to be Young in the defensive end. She's going to retreat there. Jumps it off to the other Middleton here, trying to find some space in her own right. Goes in the paint. Foul called in favor of California.
And that time it was Harrington who took the charge, is able to get in front of number 12, Kennedy Middleton, and just force that offensive foul. While we have a second, we can take a look at the tail of the tape from both teams. Kind of similar stats, but the Vulcans leading in most, scoring about 67.7 points per game for Cal compared to 63.8 for the Rock. Field goal percentage, the Vulcans lead that one 40.9% from the field compared to the Rock's 36.5 from three. Both teams not shooting particularly well, 29% from either of them, but the Rock lead in that category. Free throw percentage still favoring the Rock, 70.4 compared to the 68% for Cal, and then rebounds per game difference between 0.2 per game. I mean, you can't get much closer than that.
It's been really close, especially like we've said, last time we played against the Rock, we did win, but it was a slim margin victory there. So this is another big game. This is by no means, if you look at the PSAC West standings, by no means an easy game for the California Vulcans.
Yeah, absolutely not. And like you mentioned, it was kind of a sloppy game, very defensive, but the Vulcans did a good job in that game. California held Slippery Rock to 18 for 54 from the field, which is a field goal percentage of 33.33 repeating. So that, I mean, if you're going to be able to hold a team to only making a third of your shots, you're going to be winning a large majority of your game. So if California can try to clamp up here after they let up some early points and just try to slow down this Rock offense, you're going to look at another somewhat convincing win if you're able to do some of that.
And we're going to get back to the action here in the convo. It is 8-10, 4:41 left in the first here. Remember, Fink will be joining the lineup post halftime here, so that might make a difference. But California, by no means, is going to fight. By all means, is going to fight for this, and that's going to be Alicia Harris with a jumper there. It's going to be Gibson now leading the charge back the other way. Singling her offense, tries to find a lane for herself. Mid-range jumper, lips, and it's not good, and it's going to be Harris to come down with it. Going to dump it off to Sierra Lloyd. She wants to have the big court pass, and then to Harrington. Harrington, nothing but net.
And that three-point shot is set up entirely by Lloyd. Had Harris underneath, was looking at her the whole time, and forced the defender on Harrington to come down into the paint to try to double team, and then just made the no-look pass to Harrington, and Harrington's going to knock down that three every time.
Middleton has it, trying to find a lane, gets double teamed. She does create some space, lips out, and that's going to be Gilliard, who subbed in following the timeout here. And now Lloyd's going to slow down the pace of play a bit. 13-10, first lead of this game for California. That's going to be out on the Rock.
And like I talked about, Slippery Rock almost get 10 steals a game. They're very, very long. All of them have super long arms, so they're able to jump these passing lanes pretty well. So it's going to be on Cal to try to protect the ball.
Ooh, and Gilliard wide open. Can't get the shot to drop, but Smith is there to throw it up once again. Smith's shot's no good. That's going to be out, and it still will be California's ball.
And that's good positioning. Smith and Harris are just underneath there, just waiting for any shot to come in. And they have got great box out skills down there. They're just able to get in there.
Ooh. Sorry, Sabe, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was a wayward pass from Sierra Lloyd on the inbounds, but it does work out as Harrington is there to recover it.
It just looks like some miscommunication. Lloyd thought someone was going one way and no one was there.
We've seen her previously struggle with some passes, and that was a great blocked execution by Middleton, who's going to lead it back the other way, try to finish it off. That's going to be well off the mark there, and now Lloyd to come back the other way with it. Lloyd pushing the pace. She gives it to Smith right over the head and out of bounds.
Yeah, you can see she's frustrated with that. And I mean, if that's a men's game, you're looking at a nice alley-oop slam dunk there. But I don't think Jordan Smith is quite that tall or has quite the vertical leap that someone like Jermaine Hall Jr. has.
As Middleton wanted to go up with it, but she's going to get called with the travel there.
And the right idea, had the pump fake, got her defender to jump, but just took an extra step before she was able to place down that dribble.
Harris is going to go back to inbounds it here for the Vulcans. Lloyd's now going to lead the charge back the other way with certainly no urgency. 13-10, 2:46 here left in the opening quarter. Lloyd weighing her options. Harris tries to come and sets a screen. Lloyd debated the three ball, goes into paint instead and gets two.
A great drive, and it all started with a beautiful crossover move, just a hesitation, and then the cross to the right just to force the defender behind her, and then just threw it up with the right hand and able to get it to go off the glass.
Now back top of the key is Middleton. They're going to call travel once again on her. So now both Middletons have just been calling on travel.
I mean, it was the same thing that happened before. Just had a pump fake, was able to get the defender to jump, but just took a few more steps before placing down that dribble.
Now to Gilliard. Gilliard goes up with it, bounces, not in. Harris is going to try and save it from going out. She does. Gonna reset here, kicks it out to Lloyd once again. 16 on the shot clock here, so they do have some time. Harris comes in, sets a screen for Lloyd. Lloyd pulls up from just shy of the three line and gets another one.
And this is what you want to see if you're a Vulcans fan. Sierra Lloyd getting hot early. And once again, great job. Calls Harris over from the screen, takes it, and then just able to create some space with that step back shot.
Now the biggest lead California's had all night, 17-10 in the opening corner. Vinick now dumps it off to Kaufman. Kaufman's been pretty quiet here as of late. Gibson now goes up for the three. And nothing but net for Delea Gibson. I apologize, I'm tripping over my words. Delea Gibson with an excellent three-point attempt. Lloyd now to bring it back the other way. 1:20 left on the clock here for the opening quarter. Lloyd now in a predicament, kicks it out to Gilliard, wide open. Gilliard's shot is off the mark, fight for it from going out, and they're going to say it's still inbounds here. Middleton to take it back the other direction. Long pass here to Gibson. Gibson once again throws it up and gets another one.
She's just been automatic so far from three. And that's her fourth one. She has 14 points in the first quarter, 14 out of the 16 points that the Rock have scored already.
Now Lloyd to take it back the other direction here. Lloyd trying to bleed some time off the clock here, conducting her offense from the corner. Lloyd just says, what the heck, nah, I'm going to go up for three and drain it.
Yeah, I mean, she saw what Gibson was doing and said, hey, I can do the same thing. Answers back with a three of her own and gives the Vulcans a 4-point lead again.
Middleton now tries to put it up. That's going to be off the mark. Foul will be called on the floor.
I think this one's going to go against Harris.
It will go against Harris, and it will be the first shooting foul we have. Now we will have a sub coming in for the Rock.
On the season, Isabella Middleton, 71.8% free throw shooter from the line.
Looks like Jada Ward will be the sub coming in for the Rock as well, following the foul shots. First one is good for Middleton. Isabella Middleton, not to get you all confused. Crowd really trying to get into this one here in the combo, and she drains both of them, unfazed by the Vulcan faithful.
And on the clock, on the clock, there's less than a second, so the Vulcans are going to look here to just hold it for one last shot.
Shot clock and game clock don't entirely match up here, but not a massive difference in play. Lloyd now comes in. Harris sets the screen. Lloyd tries to put up two. No good basket there. Waiting on the official foul call on the floor. And it will be a foul against the Rock on Kennedy Middleton, so sending Sierra Lloyd to the line here.
It's going to be important because that's Kennedy Middleton's second foul, and she already picked it up in the first quarter. She's got to be careful. I would expect to see maybe a substitution after this first quarter to just rest her to make sure she doesn't pick up another one.
Lloyd now with her second attempt and gets both of them. 10.8 left, 22-18 now. Still anyone's ball game. Kaylin Vinick, not the other Vinick, as again there are multiple sets of sisters in this game. Middleton now throws it up with one on the shot clock. Fight for it and triple zeros in the opening quarter. It will be 22-18 in favor of your California Vulcans. You're watching CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network.
Are you looking for student housing that is convenient, fits your budget, and promotes independent living? Look no further than Penn West California's upper campus student community at Vulcan Village. At Vulcan Village, you have 3 spacious floor plans to choose from, all with guaranteed private bedrooms and many with private bathrooms. Our community provides you fantastic amenities such as a 24/7 fitness center, convenience store, sand volleyball, and saltwater swimming pool. All apartments are fully furnished and have full kitchens and laundry. Utilities, internet, parking, recreation, and events all included. We provide you an all-inclusive experience that can't be beat. Schedule a tour and learn more today at vulcanvillage.com. Live here. Live well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. So far, your California Vulcans are leading the Rock 22-18.
And while we have a second, we can take a look at some team leaders here for your Vulcans. You're going to see a lot of Fink, and we're not going to see a lot of Fink in this first half. We're not going to see her at all. But averaging 15 points and 10.5 rebounds per game for your Vulcans. Sierra Lloyd leading the team in assists and steals, and Hallie Harrington leading the team in minutes. So like we said, we won't see her until the second half. But if California is able to manage without her and get that breath of fresh air in that second half, it's going to be huge. And we can also look at the Rock leaders as well. It's going to be a lot of Middleton switching in between Kennedy and Isabella. Isabella leading the team in points and steals, and then Kennedy leading in rebounds and assists per game.
Important to note on the Rock side that you have 18 points coming from 2 total players. Dilly Gibson with 14, and then Isabella Middleton with 4. And then on your Vulcan side, Sierra Lloyd is leading the charge with 13 so far. So Lloyd really picking up the slack with them unable to use Fink in the opening quarter. Lloyd now tries to find Harris, another pass off the mark. Gibson's going to lead the charge back the other way for the Rock. Signaling traffic here. She's by the Vulcans bench. Smith really putting the pressure on, dumps it off to Middleton. Middleton debating the shot, tries to go up for Gilliard on the defensive end, and she's going to get the board and throw it up once again.
And Gilliard had a smart play there, just stood her ground, tried to draw that offensive foul, that charge. Nothing was called, but, I mean, she went down to the ground. Good job by Middleton to follow up on her own shot and get that rebound.
Surprised no foul was called on the floor, but they are going to let them play it out here this afternoon. Lloyd now trying to debate her options here. 14 on the shot clock. Harris has it, pulls up mid-range, and gets another one.
And that's Harris's area right there. Anything inside the paint is all Alicia Harris, and Lloyd able to find her inside, faces up her defender, Harris does, and just knocks down the shot right in her face.
Now Vinick has it, trying to find a lane her own right. No good shot there. Foul will be called.
Number 12, Talia
and it will be a foul on the Vulcans. Talia Gilliard sending Kaylin Vinick to the line.
Vinick on the season, 81.8% free throw shooter, 9 for 11 from the free throw line. And I mentioned this last year, and I was talking to you about this earlier. Shout out her mom, Mrs. Julie Vinick, was my 6th grade English teacher.
I'm sorry, that's actually kind of funny.
At Best Center High School, so shout out Mrs. Vinick.
Vinick converts on both shots. Now leading it to a 2-point ball game, 24-22, 8:55 left before the half.
There's going to be a substitution made from the Rock during that. Number 44, Kelly McKnight, is going to come into the game for the first time.
Lloyd now has it in the corner, finds Harris once again. A combo of teammates we've been saying a lot here this afternoon, and put 2 more on for Alicia Harris. Gibson now going to take it back the other way for the Rock. Gibson the give and go to Middleton. Middleton trying to find a lane here, decides to dump it off to Vinick. Now to Gibson once again, dumps it back again for Ward. They're going to call foul there as that pass was intended for Middleton.
Yeah, they're going to catch Gilliard on this one, and it's a bit unfortunate as she was just fighting for positioning underneath. That was a good job by the Rock player, just getting that nice inside leverage, forcing Gilliard to kind of just pull her back, get her arms wrapped around him, and draw that foul.
It will remain on the floor, so it will be Rock to inbounds at Vinick now at the top of the key here. Dumps it off to Ward. Ward trying to find a lane here, goes up for it. Off the mark, and that's going to be Sierra Lloyd to come down with it. Lloyd now bringing it back the other way here, slowing things down a bit, weighing her options. kicks it out to Harris. A little wonky pass, but it makes it work. Now to Harrington. Harrington doesn't have the room for three, so she tries to go in the paint with it. No good basket. Harris tried to throw it up again. And after all of that, no points will be scored. Ward to bring it back the other way here. Ward trying to find a lane, throws it up once again. Well wide of the mark here. Now Lloyd to bring it back. 26-22, 7:35 here. Harris has it now, throws it up once again. Oh, and that one was almost in and then lipped out, did a full 360 around the iron.
Yeah, I mean, it just sat in there for a second.
It went down.
Popped back out.
And now that's going to be a great shot there by Gibson, another three ball.
And that time it was a beautiful crossover move there. Just went all around with the ball, just created a little bit of space, took that step back and knocked it down. I mean, she's got 14 points already.
She's got 17, actually.
17.
As we're back underway here on the Vulcan side, Harris has it in the corner. Harris weighing her options, takes it out to Smith. Smith goes for the three ball. Another lip out there, and it will be the Rock with the board. It's going to be Ward to lead the charge back the other way on the Rock side of the court. Now within one of California, off the shot there by Ward, and that's going to be Young to come down with it. Came back in the game as Gilliard went to the bench for it momentarily. Now Lloyd has it in the quarter, kicks it out to Young. Young throws it up. Ball still up there, and that's going to be out, and it will be Rock ball.
So the Vulcans kind of struggling over the last couple of minutes. Have had some good looks, but just can't seem to get the shots to go in.
And now both Venick sisters will be on the floor as Emily Venick joins her sister on the court. Actually, sorry, her sister got subbed out, so disregard that.
Emily came in for Kaylin, so one Venick in, one Venick out.
Sure. And then anyway, Middleton has it right here. Mid-range jumper from Middleton, and she gets it. And now Rock reclaim the lead, 27-26, 6:10 left. Lloyd's going to come across the logo here. Looks like they're going to sub in Azada Lawrence when the play has ceased. And that's going to be Harris to get two more.
And that time Harris just got a nice open runway straight to the basket, and when she's able to get inside with a nice head of steam there, she's going to be very hard to stop.
Venick leading the charge back the other way, kicks it out to Middleton. Middleton trying to create some space against Young, throws it up for the two. She gets the layup.
Isabella Middleton, 2 points.
Lloyd to bring it back the other way for California. Tight ball game, lead bouncing back, and fourth here kicks it out to Harris. Sorry, to Young now. That's going to be Smith to Young once again. Young throws it up. That's going to be Gibson to get a hand on that for the Rock. They're going to call a timeout on the Slippery Rock side.
Yeah, that'll stop the clock with 5:17 left to play. And that trend still continues. The Rock have 29 points. 27 of them are between Gibson and Middleton. And when we have a second, we can take a look at the PSAC West standings here in the women's division. Gannon, the Golden Knights still up top, 13-3 in conference, 11-3 overall. And then a tight race for second place. Edinburgh, after that big win against Cal on Saturday, take that second place spot, 11-5 in conference record. UPJ sitting at 10-5 right in front of the Vulcans, who are 10-6. And then IUP and Seton Hill both sitting at 9-7. Mercyhurst right behind them at 8-7. And then the Rock at 7-9. And then lastly, Clarion at 3-13.
And we're going to take a look at some replays here as this lead has really been dwindling here for the Vulcans. Now Rock is leading 29-28. Harrington with a three ball, as she's known for a sharpshooter on the California side. This is Lloyd really picking up the slack here in this opening quarter. Lloyd with dominant jumpers, leading the team in overall points with a total of 13. Another point from Sierra Lloyd, just shy of the three ball line. And now this is going to be Gibson, a long-range three-point attempt, but she's been lights out from there. And now last one is going to be Gibson once again with the three. And she gets that one as well, leading their team with 17 here this afternoon.
Yeah, she's just been knocking them down. But like I said, the Vulcans are able to just tread water here in this first half, keep the game relatively close, or even have the lead. And then coming into the second half, you have Raja Fink available and be able to come into the game. That will completely flip the game on its head.
And then a sub coming in following that media timeout with Lawrence, who got a hand on it, but did get a foul call as well.
Foul number 5, Hallie
So actually it will be Harrington called with the foul there. She was also helping out Lawrence on the defensive end for California.
Yeah, that'll be her first. That'll be the team's third of the quarter, so the Vulcans need to be watched out. There's 2 more. They'll end up sending the rock into the bonus.
And now Vinick has it. Bounce pass out to the outside here. Middleton at the top of the key. Goes up for the mid-range jumper. Nothing but net for Isabella Middleton. Lloyd gonna take her time crossing the Vulcan logo here. Rock 31, California's 28. 4:40 left in this one before the half. And now Lloyd kicks it out to Harrington. Harrington open for 3. Off the rim. And that's going to be boarded by Gibson, who's leading the charge back the other way. Kicks it out to Ward. Ward trying to find some space by the Vulcan bench here. They're going to reset a bit as Ward gets tripped up. And no foul will be called, but it will be Vulcan's possession. Sierra Lloyd now going back the other direction here. Lloyd weighing her options, tries to find Harris, really congested there in the paint. A foul will be called.
Yeah, that pass to Harris had to be pinpoint accurate, otherwise it was going to end up a steal for the Rock. Able to find Harris, but there were 2 players underneath right on top of her. One of them had to foul her, and that one was going against Jordan Kaufman, so the Vulcan's going to get the ball back.
Now Lloyd tries to find Harris once again, another foul.
It looks like it's going to be the same thing. Harris got that inbound pass and then just received an arm as she was coming down with it. So 2 quick fouls from the Rock.
Now Lloyd finds Lawrence here at the top of the key, kicks it out to Smith. Smith weighing her options here, trying to figure out some space to get a shot off. Gets it on. Gonna lip out once again. Lawrence to get the board, throws it up, and Isaiah Lawrence with another one.
Yeah, beautiful spin move into the lane by Smith. Could have gotten the shot to go down, unfortunate, but Zlata Lawrence right there, right underneath the basket, able to just box out, get that offensive board, and able to finish with a nice contested shot at the rim.
Ward has it at the top of the key for the Rock. Now kicks it off to Vinick. Vinick trying to find the lane in the paint here. Harrington did trip her up a bit. Vinick bounce pass to Ward. Ward now to Gibson. Lights out from the 3 line, but that's going to be well short. Almost a pass essentially to Vinick. Now Middleton was able to get away from Sierra Lloyd. Gets the shot off, but double zeros on the shot clock.
And even the best shooters on your team sometimes just can't get the calculations right. That time both Middleton and Gibson were just a little bit off on their calculations of those 3-point shots.
And then Lloyd going to take it across the logo here. Lloyd trying to find space. Ward on the defensive end. Foul called there. Waiting on the official call of who was on. It will be against the Rock on number 3, Kaylin Vinick.
And that time Lloyd just tried to post up, got some good positioning inside. And I thought maybe they were going to call an offensive foul on her because it looked like she was kind of pushing her way through, but just drew the foul from the Rock.
Smith now taking in the key. Extra pass to Harris, and that's going to pay off for the Vulcans.
Yeah, great find by Smith. Drove in, could have taken the shot herself, but Harris was wide open, right in the middle of everything. Don't know why there wasn't a Rock defender on her.
Now Vinick now trying to do it herself. That's going to be too strong. Harris to come down with it. California now leading by 1, 32-31, 2:47 left before the half. Lloyd tries to go up, extra pass to Harris once again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, and once again, Harris just left wide open, but then it all starts with Lloyd. Beautiful crossover move, just had those combinations on lock, able to get into the paint, force defenders to come over to her, and which leaves Harris wide open underneath.
Vinick kicked it out to Middleton. Middleton trying to find a lane. Gets some space from Harrington, and that shot was going to be a low trajectory, but it will go in.
And once again, she's got another basket. 17 points for Gibson, and that's 14 points now for Middleton. The 2 highest scorers on the team for the Rock are just doing it here for them today.
Lloyd now weighing her options here. Harris comes in and sets a screen, finds Harris in the paint. She's going to get triple teamed. Shot was off, but wasn't good. Vinick now going to lead the charge back the other way. Still 34-33. Just shy of the 2-minute mark before the half. Middleton in the corner here. Harrington on the defensive end for California. Middleton tries to get some space. Harrington got a hand on it, and that's really tripping them up here as they're fighting for the board. Vinick now was able to recover it. Kicks it out to Middleton by the Vulcan bench. Off the iron, and that's going to be Lloyd with a shot pull pass here right in the hands of Gibson. We've seen her be either really good or really bad with those passes. And now Gibson goes up for a mid-range jumper, and Smith is going to come down with the board.
Yeah, unfortunate for Lloyd that time. Had the right idea, but just couldn't get enough arm behind it to lift it over the Rock defenders.
And it looks like the other Vinick and Middleton are going to come in the game here following the CISA play, as Azada Lawrence has it in the corner. Harris now to Lloyd. Lloyd weighing her options here, goes up for it. And that's going to be short of the mark. 1 minute before the half here, still 34-33. Vinick now leading the charge once again back the other way, signaling traffic for Middleton, wondering if she's going to try and get the extra pass off. Ends up going with Long, and that's going to be Long to Middleton now. Middleton trying to create some space in the paint. Harrington got a hand on it, but it won't phase her.
A good finish that time by Middleton. Just got inside and was able to get the leverage over top of Harrington, and Harrington did her best, got her arms up trying to stop it, but great shot by Middleton.
Lloyd taking it back the other way. Again, there is a differential between the game and shot clock, so they do have to get a shot off here. Lloyd has it against Vinick. Double screen at the top of the key. Kicks it off to Lawrence. Lawrence wide open for three. Off the iron. Fight for it. Gibson to come down with it. 7 on the clock, so they do have time to run a play. Kicks it out for three. They're going to call travel against the Rock, so no good basket by Kaufman. And 3.2 left.
And if the Vulcans are able to get a basket here, that would have been that's going to be a huge swing, because if the Rock would have been able to knock that down, that's a 4-point lead going into half. But if California can manage to get a shot and a basket here with 3 seconds left on the clock, that would be a huge swing going into halftime.
You want to say your stat, or do you want me to say it? As Lloyd well long of the mark.
Halftime score, Slippery Rock 30.
You got to give her credit, though. That was a muscle. That was a heck of an effort.
I mean, we saw her knock it down the other day,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have been surprised if she hit that one too.
Stay tuned with us for the second half here in the Convocation Center. The Rock are leading the Vulcans 35-34. Remember, you're watching CUTV Sports 1, the PSEC Network, and listening to it on WCAL.
Hi everybody, welcome into a brand new show here on CUTV. I'm your host Tom Caton, and you are all tuning into the very first official episode of Caton's Corner. Bye everybody. Bye everybody. Bye everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. So far, the Vulcans are trailing the Rock from Slippery Rock 35-34 here in the Convocation Center.
Yeah, it was a good first half from both teams. Kind of back and forth. We do have some halftime stats to look at. Both teams shooting fairly well from the field. 15 for 36 for Cal compared to 13 for 30 from the Rock. The three-point line is where the Rock have really made the difference. 5 for 10 for them from behind the arc compared to the Vulcans 2 for 12. So that's been the big difference so far. In terms of rebounds, 20 rebounds in total for the Rock compared to 17 here for California. And then as well, eight turnovers, for Slippery Rock, 3 alone in the hands of number 12 Kennedy Middleton, and then for your Vulcans 4 turnovers. So that's been how California have been able to maintain themselves in this game. They've been able to hold on to the ball pretty well compared to the Rock so far.
We're going to take a look at the PSAC schedule as well here. Some big games going on this afternoon.
Yeah, we have a very important slate of games today. The Griffins take on Clarion. UPJ versus Gannon, so the team in first versus the team in third place. Very, very big matchup. And as well, the Crimson Hawks take on the Lakers. IUP versus Mercier. So another big game between the two teams fighting for a top spot in the playoffs. And we have Mansfield taking on Lock Haven and some PSAC East play. We have East Stroudsburg taking on Bloomsburg, Millersville versus Kutztown as well. We can take a look at some highlights. We can also just talk about this while they're playing. In the second half, the Vulcans will have Raja Fink out there to be able to play. So like I talked about, they were able to kind of keep themselves above water. They were able to keep themselves in this game. And now they're going to have arguably their best player this season back out on the court to lead the charge in the second half.
She still has her warm-ups on, so it'll be interesting to see what Coach Strom chooses to do here also. Obviously, she does not have to play her following a 2 technical foul, but she is a key asset there if they so choose. We're going to continue looking at some highlights from the first half here in the Convocation Center. The Middleton sisters have been lights out so far, and that's going to be Harris, another player who's been really bringing up her game here in the first. Alicia Harris with multiple points on this game with a total of 14, leading the charge for the Vulcans. And then shout out to Azada Lawrence as well, coming in off the bench and making it with an opening basket here for Lawrence. Harris once again with the easy layup from Sierra Lloyd. Now we're back to the action here as we wind down from halftime. Remember, 35-34, the Rock leading the California Vulcans.
And Fink back out on the floor. And I have that interesting stat you were alluding to earlier on. Since 2008, these two teams have played 30 games against each other. California have won 29. They're 29-1 against the Rock since 2008. Their only loss was in 2019, and that was away at the Rock. That was a 72-61 game. So California have this. I mean, this matchup is about as one-sided as you can get.
It's going to be a long pass there. Kaufman throws it up. Kaufman off the mark. Fink will be back in the game for the Vulcans. An important note here is that pass was intercepted by Lloyd, but stolen away from Middleton. Middleton got the shot off, but it won't go. And Fink now, first time she touches the ball here tonight. Lloyd has it wide open for 3. Lips out there. Harris to come down with the board. Harris throws it up too strong. Fight for it again. Smith now with the 3rd attempt, and 3rd time's the charm for Jordan Smith.
Exactly what the Vulcans need. That's her first basket of the game, and it just kind of steadies the ship here. And with Fink back in the game, the Vulcans got out-rebounded in the first half without Fink in the game, and that's one of their strong shoots normally on the season. You won't see that here in the second half with Fink back in the game.
Middleton to the corner. Kaufman, who's been quiet as of late here, dumps it off to Gibson. Gibson trying to find a lane here. Throws it up for 2. That's going to be off the iron. Gibson gets her own board. Throws it up again and gets that one on the 2nd attempt.
And that time Harris had the ball in her hands and just could not hold on to it. And then Gibson, good job at getting back and getting on top of the ball.
Smith throws up the mid-range jumper. Fight for it under the basket. Will go out. Waiting on the call of who it will be. And it will be Rock ball. Vinick to bring back the other way here. That will be Kaylin Vinick back in the game. Phoenix slowing things down here. Still 1 point game, 37-36. It's going to be Isabella Middleton now trying to lead the charge here. Double screen set for Rock. Rock throws it up. Middleton off the mark here. Fink gets the board. Fink going to lead the charge back the other way. Now dumps it off to Lloyd. Lloyd crosses the Vulcan. Weighing her options here, conducting the offense back on that California side of the court. Throws it to Harrington. That'll be a foul called against Vinick.
The Vulcans luck out. That time the pass from Lloyd to Harrington was a little bit telegraphed, and Vinick was in the passing lane to try to steal it away.
And that will be a pass right in the hands of Kaufman. Lloyd's really struggled on some of those passes, as we've seen. That ball is still on the ground here. Surprised they're not calling a jump ball, but Fink will get it after all of that mess. Almost looked more like a hockey or a soccer match with how long that ball was on the floor. Smith now wide open in the corner. Smith off the mark. Fight for the board. Lloyd has it. Debating the shot attempt. She does have some space, but she's going to reset here. 13 on the shot clock for Sierra Lloyd. Gives it to Fink. Fink trying to find a lane of her own right. Behind the back dribble move. Throws it to Harris. Harris gets another one from the paint.
And Harris is just a monster inside the paint. You need to send 2 or 3 people her way to stop her from getting these shots off. And so far, when she's in those one-on-one situations, she's able to get these baskets every time.
Now going back the other way here. It's going to be Middleton trying to find a lane. Has some open room here. Stuck up by the charity stripe. Dumps it out to Gibson. Gibson's had a night from the 3 line. Gives it to Kaufman now, who's still been quiet, but she gets 3 more. That's going to be Jordan Kaufman with the 3 ball.
And what an important time to get your first basket of the game. She was way out there, too, in between the 3-point line and the logo, and she's like, you know what, I got the space. I'm going to take it.
Harrington now by the Vulcan bench. Bounce pass to Fink. Rock reclaimed the lead following that Kaufman 3-pointer. Harris throws it up and now ties the ball game at 40.
And there it is again. Fink, a nice pass inside to find Harris, and Harris left one-on-one on that island in the paint, and she's proven time and time again in this game that you cannot continue to do that.
Middleton at the top of the key here. Middleton, Smith on defensive end. Middleton almost gets tripped up by Smith, goes up with it. They're going to call foul there. No good basket anyway. Looks like it will be a shooting foul for Middleton, and it will be a foul against Jordan Smith of California. Middleton with 2 shots here at the line. Crowd really trying to make their voices known in the convo. Middleton unfazed and gets the first one.
And again, it's the band. The band, like I said, they're always the most into it. They love it.
And there's the band as we speak of them. Middleton 2 for 2 on the line. We're going to take our time crossing the logo. 42-40. Double screen at the top of the key here. Lloyd trying to weigh her options. That's going to be right in the hands of Gibson. Another pass struggled for Lloyd. Harrington gets a hand on it, so it will be Rock possession before going out of bounds. And
that was super important defense there by Harrington. Got back very quickly on that transition defense and just got a hand on it to tip that pass away from Vina, because that would have been an easy basket.
Gibson to inbounds it here for the Rock. Needs to find something, decides to just throw it out by the Vulcan. Now Middleton going to take it back the other way. Middleton wasting no time, charging into the paint. Fink on the defensive end. Trip up there by the Rock. Harrington trip up on her own right, causes a turnover in the hands of the other Middleton. Now Vinick is going to lead it back the other way. Vinick in a predicament on her own right. Dumps it off to Gibson. They're going to reset a bit. Gibson weighing her options here. Harris on the defensive end for California. Gibson tries to go in the lane here, throws it up off the iron, and that's going to be another fight for it. Middleton gets it, and it can be out of bounds on Sierra Lloyd.
And the Vulcans just been sloppy after the Rock have missed these shots. When they come down with the rebounds, they just aren't as secure, aren't as aware of their surroundings, and there's 2-3 members of Slippery Rock surrounding the Vulcans every time they come down with it, and they're always trying to slap at the ball, trying to poke it away. In the last couple of possessions, they've been able to do so.
Now Rock to inbounds it here, dumps it off to Vinick. 5:18, Rock leading by 2, 42-40. Here's Vinick at the top of the key. Harrington on the defensive end for California dumps it off to the Middleton sisters, and Middleton gets another one. And that'll be Kennedy Middleton with that try.
Usually one of the top scorers coming into this game, averaging 12.5 per game. The Vulcans have done a great job at keeping her quiet. That's only her first basket of the game, but it's been all Gibson and Isabella Middleton that the Vulcans have had to worry about this game.
I was just going to say, DeLay Gibson with 19 total points and Isabella Middleton with 18. That's going to be a no-good shot there for California. Now going back the other way on the Rock side of the court. Middleton tries to find some space on her own right, dumps pass to the other Middleton sister, and she's going to get another three-pointer.
And that's what Kennedy Middleton does best. She assists. She leads this Rock team in assists, and that time, nice drive into the paint. Couldn't get the shot off, so kicks it out to her sister, and her sister, a 31% three-point shooter on the season, able to knock it down.
You know what I want to see in this game now are the Fink sisters, just to see what California's family tree has as well, and that's going to be a no-good shot by Fink to bring it back the other way, and Vinick leading the charge and going to dump it off to Gibson here. Now 3-ball for Kaufman once again, and that's going to be Jordan Kaufman with her second three-pointer.
And the Vulcans are going to call a timeout. It's been a good run here from the Rock, and you can see it there. It looks like the Vulcans were a little bit lazy on their way back on defense that time. Kaufman was wide open, and it just seemed like there was no Vulcan anywhere even remotely close to closing her out. So California just seemed a little bit shocked coming out of the half. Normally you don't see something like that. Usually they're the ones dominating the other team going into the second half, but so far they look a little bit rusty.
Yeah, now California finds themselves in a 10-point hole, 50-40 here. Usually California, especially the Coach Strom defense, is what this team is known for, but not playing with that same physicality we have seen here in the past. We're going to take a look at some highlights here. That's Jordan Smith to come down with this one. Now we're back on the Rock side of the court. DeLay Gibson just been lights out today, leading the points total for the Rock, and that's going to be the assist from Fink to Harris. Harris, another player who's having a heck of a ball game here this afternoon, really just playing very well with those easy money layups. And now Jordan Kaufman able to knock down 2 3-pointers in the third. That was one of them. Harris once again with the layup from the paint gets 2 on the board for California, and that has been really their biggest success, putting Alicia Young in the paint and letting her use her size to get 2 on the board. 50-40, just under the 4-minute mark. Another player who's really had a heck of an afternoon are the Middleton sisters, specifically Isabella Middleton, who currently has 21 points following that previous shot. And speak of the devil, there's Isabella Middleton.
Yeah, there she is. She knocked down that 3-point shot, like you said. 21 points already in the game for her. And the Rock right now are on a 10-0 run, so the Vulcans need to be able to respond, need to try to stop the sinking ship here if they want to get back in this game.
Lloyd has it by the Vulcans bench here. You know, Coach Strom is going to cook something special up after this timeout. Harrington now with it. Bounce pass to Smith, finds Harris. And there they go. What they do best is finding Alicia Harris in the paint and getting 2. And that's going to be Smith to come in and get a hand on and get the foul.
Yeah, good, or a decent attempt by Smith there. Gibson left the ball a little bit vulnerable for Smith, and Smith went to go in, but great awareness by Gibson. Pulls it away at the last second, forces Smith to foul her. That's going to be the team's second. That's going to be her second, and that'll lead us into another immediate timeout. And while we have a second, we can take a look at the PSAC West standings again. And something I wanted to mention before when we were talking about it, it just goes to show you the level of competition where a team is 12-10 in the season. They're sitting in 8th place in the conference. I mean, you don't see something like that.
There's no sleepers in this conference. We've been saying it all season.
I mean, the top 6 make the PSAC playoffs right now. That begin in Edinburgh, UPJ, California, IUP, and Seton Hill. So that's leaving 2 teams out of the playoffs. In this case, it would be Mercier's and Slippery Rock. So those 2 teams are right there, right on the precipice of getting into that playoff. And you're looking at 2 teams with positive records. Yeah, they California lost here. That's their only home loss this season. And I had another stat I told you about a little bit earlier on before the game. In the last 2 seasons, California have only lost 2 games here in the Convocation Center at all. They're 20-2 during that span, and one of them was to the Lakers earlier on in this season. And if the season ended today, Mercyhurst wouldn't be in the playoffs. And you're looking at a team with a positive record, a team that was able to knock off California here in the Combo Center, not making the playoffs just because of how good the competition is in the PSAC West this year.
We get back underway here following the foul against Smith. It will remain on the floor, so it won't make a direct impact to the scoreboard, which is a big plus for California. 3:30 left in the third here, 50-42. California trying to desperately cut into this Rock lead. Gibson kicks it out to Phoenix. Phoenix now for three. Off the mark, fight for the board. Fink to come down with it. They're going to call a foul there. It will be a foul against the Rock
Number 12, Kennedy Middleton.
on Kennedy Middleton here.
That's going to be her third, so that's going to be super important for Cal down the stretch. Middleton, one of the better players, hasn't had her greatest game today, but it's going to be a super important piece for the Rock going down the stretch.
Fink now has it, trying to find Harris. They're trying to double team her, but it doesn't matter because Alicia Harris can find a way around it.
I mean, next you're going to have to throw 3 or maybe even 4 people.
They've been
on
doing
her.
that though, and it's just, she's just got such a good size that it's just been a great play. And then throwback, we've seen that a lot, especially as last year when Terrell was back in the lineup. That was a play they did a lot. It was incredibly successful on. They're playing hot potato now back on the Rock side. Vinick able to get it out to Middleton. They're going to call a foul there.
And going back to your point as well, we saw a lot of that with Terrell, and we've seen teams do that a lot against Cal with Terrell not being in the game. Because like we said, without Terrell, this team is not the tallest, not one of the taller teams in the PSAC. And you've seen teams like Gannon really utilize that to their strengths, where they have 2-3 super large players sitting at 6'1", 6'2", where they just dump the ball in the post and you're like, you guys aren't big enough to stop it. So it looks like California have taken one of the plays out of their playbook and are doing it to the Rock here today.
Kennedy Middleton, 2 for 2 at the line. That will be a foul against Harris of California. Lloyd now going to lead the charge back the other way, 52-44, 2 minutes and some change left before going into the fourth quarter. Smith now has it. Vinick on the defensive end for the Rock. Finding Harris now wide open, and that was going to be a pass interception by Gibson. Gibson going to throw it back the other way to Vinick, and Vinick's going to wait for her teammates. Fink gets a hand on it, and they're going to call a travel against Vinick.
A good defense that time by Fink. Vinick was looking to go straight towards the basket. Fink got right in front of her, just put up a brick wall and said, you're not passing. So Vinick tried to go a different way, tried to get Fink to move out of the way with a spin move, but got caught with the travel.
That's going to be a poor pass intended for Fink. We've always seen Sierra Lloyd kind of struggle on those pass attempts. Gibson's going to throw it up for 3, off the mark in the hands of Fink. And that's going to be Lloyd now bringing it back across the Vulcan. Finds Harrington for the mid-range jumper, and Harrington, nothing but net.
Now this is super important here for Cal. They've been able to keep pace with the Rock here so far. They're trading baskets, but they can't trade baskets when you're down by 6 to 8 points. You need to get stops here, so California need to look to get a stop here to try to cut into this lead even more.
Only 1:24 left. Kaufman for 3. Kaufman off the mark. Fight for it. Gibson to come down with it, so it will remain on the Rock side. Middleton throw it up once again. Another poor shot there by the Rock. Lloyd's going to take it back the other way. Finds Harrington. Harrington for 3. And nothing but net for Hallie Harrington.
Exactly what we need. We haven't seen much of Harrington so far in this game, but she's knocking down shots when it matters now. If she starts to heat up going into the fourth quarter, Slippery Rock got to watch out.
That's only Harrington's 5th point, a sharpshooter from the line as we're now at the 52nd mark in the third. Middleton has it on the corner here. Goes long court with it, tries to find Kaufman. Now Gibson. Vulcan's really putting the pressure on the defensive end. Great to see them. Smith now gets a hand on it, kicks it out to Middleton through the 3. That's going to be off the iron. Harrington to come down with it. 30 seconds left. As Lloyd is going to take her time gingerly walking across the Vulcan logo. There's about a 3-second difference between the shot and game clock here. Lloyd now dumps it off to Smith in the corner. Now back to Lloyd, to Harris. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it won't go in, but they do get the foul call.
And once again, Harris just left with too much space underneath. She's standing there on the baseline, and Lloyd able to just find her, and Harris, she just keeps going to work, and She can't get the shot to go, but forces the foul to be drawn against her, and she can make it a 1-point game here. I mean, we talked about it. The Vulcans were down by 10 at one point in this quarter, and now can be down to only 1.
Bella Long is going to come in for Kaylin Vinik as well back on that Rock side, and that foul will be on Jordan Kaufman for the Rock. First shot there is good for Harris. Sape mentioned this would be a 1-point deficit, and that one's not going to go in. Fight for the board here. 12 seconds left on the clock. Going back the other way is Middleton for the Rock. Trying to find some space. Lloyd gets a hand on it, and that's going to be a heck of a block by Jordan Smith.
Oh, she just sent that. That was beautiful, and that can be what jumpstarts this team even more. I mean, they've got the momentum and going their way, and a nice block like that can really start to swing the game even more in your favor.
5.1, so they do have time to get a shot off. They throw it up for 3, and that's going to be off. That was long. Fight for it again. Harris got 0-0, so can't get anything. And that's going to lead us into the fourth quarter. The Rock leading 51-50. Stay tuned. You're watching CUTV Sports 1, the PSAC network, and listening to it on WCAL.
Are you looking for student housing that is convenient, fits your budget, and promotes independent living? Look no further than Penn West California's Upper Campus student community at Vulcan Village. At Vulcan Village, you have 3 spacious floor plans to choose from, all with guaranteed private bedrooms and many with private bathrooms. Our community provides you fantastic amenities such as a 24/7 fitness center, convenience store, sand volleyball, and saltwater swimming pool. All apartments are fully furnished and have full kitchens and laundry. Utilities, internet, parking, recreation, and events all included. We provide you an all-inclusive experience that can't be beat. Schedule a tour and learn more today at vulcanvillage.com. Live here. Live well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Convocation Center. We are now going into the fourth quarter here. The Rock are leading the Vulcans 52-50.
And we're going to take a look at some highlights from the last couple of minutes. The Vulcans ended that quarter on a 10-2 run, and a lot of it is with this girl right here, Alicia Harris, just scoring basket after basket after basket. Had a career high the other night in 23, and already has 23 in this game, so could be a sight to see, set a new career high as that we saw Harrington knock down that mid-range jumper. Then on the next possession, drilled a 3 to cut the game to a 3-point game. And like I mentioned, this place has been a fortress here for Cal. Only 2 losses in the last 2 years here at home. So this will be big on California if they're able to come back and win this game to maintain that amazing record here in the combo.
And we are back underway here. Lloyd now bringing back the charge, dumps it off. Sorry, still Lloyd. I thought she dumped it off to Harrington. Now she did. Harrington trying to find a lane, throws it back to Smith. That's going to be Gibson who gets a hand on it. Lloyd tries to find the open man. Miscommunication. Smith is able to save it, but only 6 on the shot clock. Finds Lloyd, finds Harris. They throw it up with 3. Sure, why not? Alicia Harris puts 2 more.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how they drew it up out of the huddle there.
Play. Oh, God, that was a lot of skill, a lot of luck. Equal parts skill, equal parts luck. Long now at the top of the key, dumps it off to Ward. Some subs coming in the fourth here. This Gibson's had a heck of a game here. Kicks it out to Long for 3. And Long drains a long one.
Yeah, we've seen her take that shot a few times, and every shot's just been a little bit off, but made the adjustment. Able to knock that down. And with that last basket that Harris made on the last possession, it's a new season high here for her to 25 points.
Fink now making her name known here, getting 2 on the board, 55-54.
And what a first time to get your first basket of the game. She's going to be super important here for Cal down the stretch. If Harris is going to start to get the attention of the Slippery Rock defense, you're going to see a lot more of Fink open and a lot more Fink with these one-on-one opportunities.
Long now dumps it off to Ward here. Give and go to Gibson. Gibson trying to find a lane in the paint. Lloyd on the defensive end. That's going to be wide of the mark. Fink to board it, and then Sierra Lloyd's going to come back down the other way. Lloyd trying to find some space, kicks it off to Harrington. Harrington wanted a 3, but it wasn't there, so she's going to give it back to Sierra Lloyd. Lloyd weighing her options here to Harrington. Harrington's going to pull up for mid-range. That's going to be off the mark. Foul called on the floor.
And this one's going to go against the Rock. Harris went up for that offensive rebound, And Isabella Middleton, number 14, was just underneath of her, pushing her, just gave her a little bit of a shove. She's going to pick up her second foul, so huge possession here for Cal. They're going to get the ball back, and they can look to take the lead.
Lloyd's going to just cut her losses, give the long pass to Smith. Going to dump it back to Lloyd here. Now Harrington for long, and that's going to be off the mark. Fight for it again. Going to go out, but Lloyd will save it. And they're going to stop the clock here, waiting on exactly what the call was.
From what I was looking at, it looks like that's what they did. They didn't reset the game clock or the shot clock immediately.
Okay.
Harrington shot the 3, and then it still acted like it was less than 10 seconds. They didn't reset the clocks, and they reset it, and now California get the ball back.
Throw back to the Clarion game where we saw that as well, as Fink is going to pull up for another one.
Now the Vulcans have the lead. They ended that quarter on a 10-2 run. And with these couple baskets here, you're looking at a 16-5 run from your Vulcans here.
Ward now has it, trying to find some space. Can't get that one. And that's going to be Fink to come down with it once again. 56-55, a close battle here in the convo. Lloyd signaling traffic, dumps it to Harrington. Back to Lloyd. Coach Strom now yelling some words of wisdom from the sidelines. Lloyd weighing her options. Harrington comes in, sets a screen for Sierra. Now Lloyd really in a predicament. Bounce pass to Fink to try and get it out of there. 7 on the shot clock. Fink created some space. What a basketball move that was, and Fink puts 2 on the board.
Like I said, she's going to be super important here for Cal down the stretch, and because she can just do stuff like that. She just gets into those great positions in the paint, and she just throws the ball towards the net, and I don't know how, but every single time it seems like it goes in.
Now California is leading 58-55. Middleton tries to throw one up, doesn't get it. Fight for it. Oh my goodness, I don't even know who scored that. I wonder if they're going to say that Kennedy Middleton had that one. And that's going to be Jordan Smith, the trade blows. I'm still trying to comprehend the other one.
I mean, that basket by Cal, that was a disgusting pass from Harrington. She was in the paint, no look behind the back pass to Smith underneath.
We're seeing a heck of a basketball game here this afternoon. Gibson kicks it out to Middleton. Middleton trying to find a lane. Bunch of Vulcans get a hand on it, and it will ultimately go in the hands of Ward. Ward can't convert on it. Middleton throws it up, but a foul will be called on the floor. Again, 60-57, 6:03 left in the game. Middleton now will be going to the line.
And a great effort from Middleton. Didn't give up on the play. Had a couple of chances at it, and every single time she went up there, she just couldn't seem to get it to go, but able to just follow up, get another offensive rebound, and able to get herself to the line. That foul will go against Harris. That'll be her third with 6:03 left in the game. It's going to be important for Cal to make sure she doesn't pick up another one.
Middleton for 2 here. First one is good. We always say it every game. Free throws are great ways to cut into a close margin game. 3 points, essentially. Middleton, sorry,
that game against Edinburgh was decided at the free throw line. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, Edinburgh made 26 free throws. That's 26 free points that you don't have to do anything for besides just knock down the free shot. So
there was a lot of fouls in that game.
There were a lot of fouls, and California have done a good job at not picking up that many here today.
Harris wide open the paint. I'm just going to put me on a record player and give the same play call every time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't stop it, there's no reason to not keep doing the same thing
over
and over
blame
again.
It's just great to see them back at that again. We've seen them so successful in the past with that play with Deja Terrell, and that will be Delia Gibson once again with 2 more, bringing her total up to 21 here this afternoon. Isabella Middleton still leading the Rock with 23 total points. And on the Vulcan side, take a guess how many points Alicia Harris has, Jonathan.
27.
Yes, that is a correct guess. I'm assuming you're looking at statistics as well.
I might be looking at the scoreboard across the way here, but
Middleton going to lead the charge back the other way for the Rock, trying to create some space from Fink. Bounce pass to Ward, and that's going to be intercepted, and now going in the hands of Harrington. Harrington on a mini breakaway, and gets the and one, and brings the life into the Convocation Center.
What an amazing job by Harrington that time. We're going to take a look at the replay. Just took it coast to coast, and you can look at this. She slows up because she knows Middleton's behind her, and she just waits to draw the contact. She slows up enough to let Middleton just run into her, draw that contact, and able to knock down the shot.
Don't touch Hallie Harrington's headband.
Dude, that is a
moral of that story.
While we have a second, we can take a look at the upcoming schedule. there's only 5 games left here in the season after today. The Golden Knights on Wednesday here in the Combo Center. Then on the weekend, the Vulcans go up to Erie once again to face off against the Mercyhurst Lakers. Then they'll be back here once again next Wednesday to face off against the Seton Hill Griffins. And then after that, they'll get a nice break on the weekend. They'll travel up to Johnstown the following Wednesday, and then that Saturday, the senior night will be home against IUP. And like we talked about, this team has almost a perfect record here at home, and 4 out of their last 6 games, including today, are here at home in the Convocation Center. We can take a look at some highlights. Look at this pass from Harrington. She wasn't even looking. She was looking on the other end of the court and found Smith wide open.
Our director, Gary Smith, labeled that as disgusting pass.
I mean, that's what I said, and that's exactly what it was. And then Harris, once again, you talked about a broken record. She's just been a broken record all night, doing the same thing over and over and over again here for Cal. And she's been a menace, 27 points in this game. And then the play that we just saw, Harrington on the fast break after the steal, going coast to coast and just drawing that contact, able to make the layup and one, and now has a chance at the line to convert the 3-point play.
64-61. California really changed the tide now in this game. Just shy of the 5-minute mark as Harrington has the N1 here at the charity stripe. And the shot is up and good. It's going to be Ward now leading the charge back the other way for the Rock. Ward weighing her options, kicks it out to Vinick. Vinick trying to find a lane of her own right here. Give and go back to Ward. Harrington on the defensive end for California, kicks it out to Kaufman now. Harris gets tripped up there, and that's going to be a travel called against Gibson.
Yeah, the Rock have not done a great job this game at holding on to the ball. After that turnover, that's going to be 14 in the game so far here for Slippery Rock.
Now Lloyd's going to take it across the Vulcan logo here, trying to bleed some clock. Harrington comes in and sets a screen. Now to Fink, they're going to call a foul there. And it will be a second foul for Vinick. Still stays on the floor as Sierra Lloyd comes in to inbounds it. And now Lloyd to Harris again, trying to find some space and use her size to get a shot up. They're going to try. Middleton gets a hand on jump ball call, waiting on possession favors. It looks like it will favor the Rock.
Yeah, that time Harris just lost control with there. I do have a score update for you right now. Clarion is leading Seton Hill right now, 54-52, with 9.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. So that's going to be a big game going down the wire.
Seton Hill especially has gone hot really late in the season, so that is completely shocking, especially in terms of PSAC West standings. Another important note to that is UPJ is a game behind everyone. They were on a bit of a bye. Middleton now has it as we return to action here. Harrington gets a hand on it and draws a foul.
A great crossover move that time by Middleton. Got Harrington to go one way, went the other way, and able to get up. And then another score update for us as well. IUP is leading Mercyhurst right now 55-42 with 9:40 to go in the fourth. So that would be a big win for IUP to try to push themselves into that into one of those final playoff spots.
Isabella Middleton at the line gets the first one. And then this will be Isabella Middleton's second attempt here from the layup line, and converts 2 for 2.
And I got one more update. Again, and running away with it against UPJ, 62-44. They're not even in the fourth quarter yet, so that'd be a big help, not only for the Golden Knights and their push for first place, but also for Cal's chance to get a top 3 spot.
Fink gets her own board here, throws it up again on second attempt chance. Raja Fink gets it to go. 67-63 now, 3:30 left in this game. Ward has it at the top of the key, dumps it off to Long with the long ball, doesn't get it, and that's going to be Lloyd to come down with it. Vinick tried to steal it from her, but Lloyd wasn't having it. Now Lloyd taking her time, walking across the timeline here. Harrington sets the screen for her. Looks like they're going to change things up, trying to put Fink in the paint. Foul called in favor of California.
And that just seems disrespectful. We've had Harris down there all game just running that same play, and now at the end of the game, you're like, all right, we're just going to put Raja Fink down there as well. So you have two bodies doing the exact same thing, and it's so hard to stop. And that time, the only thing that the Rock could do was foul to prevent that from going in. And beautiful job by Lloyd.
What a play. That was Sarah Lloyd gets back on the board here now, 69-63. Going back the other way on the Rock side. Gibson has it in the corner. Gibson goes up for three. Nothing but net for Delay Gibson.
I'm just still thinking about what a heads-up play by Lloyd. Defender had her back to her, so Lloyd just threw the ball off her on the inbounds pass and got it to go and just knocked down the shot.
Now Lloyd taking it back the other way. Double screen set at the top of the key by Fink and Harris. So I wonder what they're going to run here. Dumps it off to Fink. Fink trying to drive in the paint. Goes now mid-range jumper off the mark. And that's going to be a fight for Middleton. Got it, but got the foul. I believe will be on Fink. Or Harris waiting on the official call.
Foul number 23, Alicia Harris.
And it will be Alicia Harris now with the foul.
That's going to be her fourth. That's going to be super, super important. There's 2:27 left, and if you're the Rock here, you want to go at her. You want to force her to get her fifth foul and get out of the game to try to have a chance down the stretch here.
Ward now leading it back the other way. Tries to find Gibson. Gibson meets a whole bunch of Vulcans now in the paint. Dumps it back to Ward. Ward with the mid-range jumper off the mark. Fink to come down with it. Sierra Lloyd now bringing it back the other way here. Slow things down a bit. And a timeout will be called by Coach Strom and the Vulcans.
Yeah, because this is a super important possession, so Coach Strom calls that timeout to make sure they can get everything right. Try to run the right play to get another basket here, because 2:02 left to play. If you wind the clock down even further, you're under 2 minutes after this possession is over. So this is a great chance to try to kill off the game here if you're Cal, to try to get another basket or two. And if you're able to do so, it's going to be very, very difficult for the Rock to try to come back.
Now we are going to take a look at some replays here. And this is going to be Fink in the paint, tries to throw one up. They've just been dominant under the basket, have been the Vulcans this afternoon. And then let's take a look at this one here. Look at that. That's the creativity by Sierra Lloyd. Dumps it off the back of Middleton. And then Lloyd just says, thank you very much. I'll put it up for two. And now back the other way is Gibson having a heck of a game with 24 total points here. And you can see the cheerleaders trying to bring some activity here to the combo. Blaze is looking frustrated, as always.
No, he looks like the overseer, like the foreman behind everyone, just making sure that the cheerleaders are doing their job. He's like, you guys better make sure you cheer pretty good.
Oh, he's a friendly-looking dude. The Battle of the Birds, as you like to say.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Shout out the Super Bowl this weekend.
Shout out, go Birds. I got my Eagles quarter zip on. Go Birds. Just learned that Nick Sirianni was a former wide receiver coach at IUP, so there are some PSAC connections there.
Yeah, shout out the other Birds, Crimson Hawks.
And now we're going to get back to the action here. Lloyd kicks it out to Harrington. Harrington pulls up for three, and that's going to be off the iron. Fight for the board, and it will be rebounded by the Rock. Now Middleton on a breakaway. And they're going to say that's not going to go in here, and Fink just rips it out of the hands of Gibson.
Lloyd just did enough to force Middleton to miss that shot, just did enough to make her not confident on that layup attempt, because that should be an easy basket the other end. And then Fink ripping the ball out of her hands, just saying, this is my ball, this is my rebound.
And now that's going to go right in the hands of Lloyd. Their foul called on the court. Great play design by Coach Stroms, putting a double screen at top of the key there. Really tripped up the Rock.
And we see her do that a lot, and it's super difficult, like you talked about, for them to deal with, because you don't know where Harris and Fink are going to go. And when you have two players like that are super big, that can just shoot from anywhere inside of that three-point line, if you just give them enough space, they'll be able to knock it down.
Now Sierra Lloyd from the layup line. First one will be no good. 69-66, 1:16 left in this game. Lloyd with her second attempt. Gets the second one. Now Middleton's going to bring it back the other way. This has really been a two-man show for the Rock, with Isabel Middleton with 25 points, Delia Gibson with 24. So no matter what happens, they're having a heck of a performance in the combo. Ward now in the corner here, dumps it off to the other Middleton. Fink on the defensive end, now to Middleton once again. Back to Middleton. If I keep saying Middleton, I probably am getting the right player at some point. Anyway,
your chances are pretty high.
Oh, yeah. Middleton throws it up there. No good shot there. Still on the ground. That's going to be Gibson to get it back. Now to Ward. They're going to reset a bit. 15 on the shot clock. Gibson at the top of the key here. Smith on the defensive end for California. Smith gets a hand on it, and no jump ball will be called. They're going to blow a whistle, though. Waiting on the official call. It looks like there will be a foul on the floor. They're going to talk to Coach Strom for a minute.
Yeah, the referee on the far side blew the whistle, and you saw right away he just put his hands on his chest like, my bad. So I don't think he intended to blow the whistle. I think he may have done it on accident. So waiting to see what exactly they're going to do with the possession.
Looks like they're going to inbound it potentially by the Rock bench. I believe it was, like you said, it was just a mistake.
And that's a tough blow for the Vulcans because not only could they have wasted a bunch of time off the clock running it down, they also had a wide lane straight to the basket.
Yeah.
That was going to be a free basket there for Cal that got blown back. So can California keep up? Slippery Rock have to foul here.
They're going to most likely foul. They're wasting clock right now as Lloyd is doing a great job just protecting the ball. It's going to be Ward, and then there's the foul call, but that's going to be almost 12 seconds.
Yeah, they waited way too long to do that. I'm not sure what or why they decided to wait that long. I mean, you're down by 4. It's a 2-possession game, so you need to foul to try to get the ball back to be able to knock down shots. But Lloyd, I mean, she did her job. She just protected the ball, waited for someone to finally come over and foul her, and then able to knock down the free throw and pretty much ice the game.
Lloyd with her first attempt is good. Shot clock is turned off as we are in the last 20 seconds in the game. Second shot is good by Lloyd. Timeout now called on the floor, and it will be a Slippery Rock timeout.
And we've talked a lot about Harris's performance today. 27 points for her. Sierra Lloyd's got 18 points of her own. She's really, especially in that first half, she really stepped it up. And I mean, so far down the stretch, knocking down some crucial free throws to ice the game, to give the Vulcans another win here, a bounce back after that tough loss, and that way to just propel yourself up the standings. It's a good win for them here today. If they're able to hold on, I mean, I say that, but there's 20 seconds left. They're only up by 6.
It's going to be a tight game. It's still a 2-possession ball game. So unless California fouls, I don't foresee a way that they can get 2 regulation shots off. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, after that timeout, the Rock will advance the ball, so they'll have a chance to get the ball inside their own half court. And if they're able to knock down a quick 3, it's anything but over.
It's going to be long to inbounds it to Gibson. They're waiting way too much here as they're trying to find some open space. Kaufman now to Gibson. Gibson throws it up. Smith definitely got a hand on it, and that will affect the shot. And a foul called, 8.8 left.
Like you said, that was their chance. That was the opportunity they had. And like you mentioned, they waited way too long. They tried to get the perfect shot for Gibson to come off that screen, but it took 12 seconds to operate. It took them 12 seconds to get that shot off, and so once you miss that shot, I mean that's it. And so now Lloyd going to go to the line and try to get herself to 20 points today.
I want to say that was more just like they needed to play desperation basketball. I want to say just. You don't want to wait for the perfect shot. I understand that your chances might be higher, but in this circumstance, you need to get a shot off.
Yeah, because even if you get a shot off, you have a chance to get an offensive rebound.
Yes.
And make it a second one. So Lloyd knocks down both. She has 20 points now, and the Rock are going to take another timeout with 8.8 on the clock.
It's honestly like going for a par 5, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to try to explain that analogy.
I mean, you golf more than I do, so.
It's just like, it's a risk reward, but when you're down in a tournament anyway, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I completely get that. And in a case like this, that's your only lifeline back into the game is knocking down a quick 3. And since they took too much time, they couldn't knock it down. I mean, there was just no time. There was just no chance left for him.
Middleton now wide open lane to the basket, 2.8. This clock is going to wind down quickly, so it will be California with the W, 74-68 in favor of your California Vulcans. So a big win for them in terms of PSAC West standings.
Make that 30 wins over the Rock here in the last 15 years, dominating this matchup once again and taking another win home.
And that is all we got for the women's action. Make sure you stay tuned in about 20 to 30 minutes for the men's game. Another big game in terms of PSAC West standings. You're watching CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network.